Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wayne's World of Science and Technology. Yeah, you get two in a row. The first one will end up being a short. I had no idea it was going to be that short. I was just thinking out loud. Anyway, let's talk again about Canada. And one of the things I'm going to show you is the t-shirt I'm wearing. Now, if you don't know why that's important, as I keep on stressing to people, Canada is a very diverse country. We have over 630 individual nations which are part of Canada, which are part of Canada by treaty, not by conquest, by treaty. This is a big difference, and sorry for spinning around. The dog is trying to drive me nuts. It makes our politics somewhat confusing at times, to say the least. It also means that we have a variety of our individual nations are divided into basically three wide groups of ethnicity. There's the Inuit, what people normally call Eskimos, but Inuit is the correct term. There's the what used to be called Indians, because Columbus thought he was coming to India, which is the most of the inhabitants of Canada before colonizers arrived. And there's the Métis, and the Métis are a curious and unusual group. The Métis are mixed between French and Native. So Métis culture is, again, totally different. Now, there's divisions in each of these groups. There isn't one single Métis group. There isn't one single classical Indian group, what we call First Nations. There isn't one single Inuit group. There's a variety of them. Each of them has its own specific cultural ties. Each of them has its own specific treaties with the crown. And these treaties, excuse me, the dog is being stupid again. But what else do you do with the dog? Dogs are always a little bit silly. They don't think like us humans. So we have a very wide, very confusing cultural landscape. And that's before you consider the colonizers. People have arrived in Canada from every country in the world. Myself, for example, my grandparents had the bad taste to be born in 4 different countries on 3 continents. Yeah. That makes things a little bit interesting. Culturally, I'm a bit of a mutt. Even before you take into account the fact that Native culture is a big thing in Canada. Métis culture is becoming more of a thing. Canada actually holds large cultural events. Look at Toronto Caravan. Look it up. It's basically the chance for all the immigrants from Jamaica and all the rest of the Caribbean nations to show off and have a party. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. They have a variety of other things. They have one particular one, the name of which I cannot remember right now to save my life, where there are basically pavilions from just about every culture group you can think of, all with their own foods. Everybody has, they all have people dressed in their own national dress. And this sort of thing is extremely popular here. People love going to these things and meeting other people who know what, who live by other rules. And one of the impacts of this on the current situation is that, Donald Trump has basically been doing his best to try and destroy Canada's economy. Canada is in a really weird position where we have people who know other people overseas, a lot of them, and they are willing to try and work deals. So there's a couple of new food companies that started up, for example. I know this doesn't sound like much, but They are food companies that were started up by immigrants from India, and they are shipping food to India. And they are making a reasonable profit out of it. There's people from Brazil who are working up deals with Brazil for us. There are people from, as I said, every country on the planet. And Canada is picking up these extra deals because all of a sudden we've got the extra production capacity. And we're, talking high tech as well as natural resources. And how should I put it? People are getting nervous about dealing with the United States. If you check import data for South Korea, you'll notice that the imports of food have started to come from Canada rather than the U.S. because they were having problems getting things in there on time. And, this really is huge. It means that Donald's plan is being scuppered by the fact that he's basically made the United States toxic to the rest of the world. And our cultural diversity gives us a huge advantage. It doesn't matter where you're from. We probably have somebody from your country who can talk to you in your language and is culturally the same as you. Just for a joke, my dad used to play poker with the head of Denison Mines, the big uranium producer. Why did he play cards with the head of Denison Mines? Because my dad was just an average guy working for the town? Simple. They were both Italian. And it was a chance for a bunch of Italians to get together and chat and be with people that were culturally like them. And, we have this huge diversity. It's an advantage that no other country really has. The United States kind of had it, but they've decided to destroy it by deporting anybody who, with the least excuse. And it's paying off for us. Anyway, that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for listening. Share, subscribe, all the usual guff, and have a nice day. Talk to you later.